Hello friends. In the previous video, we learned what is time value of money, the reason for time value of money, the components, the scope, and we learned in general how to find future value, present value. Annual compounding, continuous compounding, discounting for single cash flow, series of cash flow. But at the end of the last video, I mentioned whatever was discussed was in general, but we have some special cases of annuity, some special cases of time value of money, and I mentioned two special cases, annuity, perpetuity. Let us discuss the first among them, annuity. Now, what is annuity? When same amount is received or paid, same amount received or paid in regular intervals for a given period of time, we call this as annuity. So annuity is an inflow or outflow, receipt or payment of same amount, mind you, same amount in regular intervals for a given period of time. Let's have some examples. Let's say you have opened a recurring deposit account. Recurring deposit account. What happens in a recurring deposit account? In periodic intervals, you deposit a predefined amount, the same amount for a given period. At the end of the period, you get the lump sum. Now this is recurring deposit. So let's say you have deposited 10,000 rupees each year for 4 years, yearly for 4 years. It's an annuity. You have an insurance policy in your name, life insurance policy. What do you do? In periodic intervals, quarterly, half yearly, annually, you pay same amount as premium for a given period. It's an annuity. Let's say you invest in a scheme, investment scheme called SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. What happens here? Periodically, again monthly, quarterly, etc. You invest same amount each period for a given period in a mutual fund scheme, SIP scheme. It's an annuity. Let's say you borrow a loan. How do you repay? Equated installments. So usually monthly, quarterly, annually, same amount we repay for a given period. So most of our investment, savings, financial transactions are in the form of annuity. Now, what should we learn about annuity? Friends, we should learn same thing what we learned under general discussion, future value of annuity, present value of annuity. So for an annuity, how to find future value? For an annuity, how to find present value? How? Let's see. Let's take the same example of recurring deposit. Let's say 4 years. So let's say you open a RD account for 4 years. Amount deposited each time, let's say 10,000. And let's say it is done annually. So each year end, you deposit 10,000 rupees for 4 years in a recurring deposit. What happens? As I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, whenever we make a reference to year, it always should be read as year end. We should always see it as year end. So let's say year end 1, 2, 3, 4, you deposit 10,000. Each year end you deposit. Why the emphasis on the word end, you will see. Now let's say bank is offering a rate of interest of 10%. Now, how much will you get back after these 4 years is what we call as future value of annuity. At the end of this term, 4-year term, how much will you get is future value of annuity, also called terminal value of annuity. How to find this? Very simple, but this calls for very focused attention. This amount is deposited at the end of year 1, end of. in. And since this RD is for 4 years, so this 10,000 what you deposit is deposited, invested for a period of 3 years. From end of first year till end of fourth year, for 3 years it is invested. Now, how much will 10,000 become in 3 years at 10% rate of interest? 10,000 become in 3 years at 10% rate of interest. This is future value. How to find future value we have seen. This is the basic formula for future value. PV 10,000, I 10% in 3 years. So 10,000 into 1 plus I to the power of 3. 1 plus I 1.1 to the power of 3 years. And mind you, end of first year, end of fourth year. For 3 years it is invested. So this 10,000 will become 13,310 by the end of fourth year. Now, this 10,000 what you deposit, invest at the end of second year is invested till end of fourth year for a period of 2 years. How much it becomes in 2 years? 10,000 into 1.1 to the power of 2. 1 plus I to the power of n. Similarly, the 10,000 what you deposit at the end of third year is invested for a period of 1 year. But what you deposit at the end of fourth year, you deposit, you will get back. So this is what you will get back at the end of. So if you go for a recurring deposit, which is an annuity, each year end you deposit 10,000, interest rate is 10%. At the end of fourth year, how much you get? 46,410. This 46,410 is what we call as future value of annuity or terminal value of annuity. Now, knowing how to calculate this is what we need. But this is not how we calculate. If you calculate, fine, but this is not the purpose of learning time value of money. What we learn or what we should learn in time value of money is how to calculate this using a model or a formula. Now, how to calculate this using a model or a formula? Now, this is the formula to calculate future value of annuity or called terminal value of annuity. What is in the formula? P is periodic payment, periodic cash flow. So in our example, 10,000 was the cash flow payment which was making periodically. I rate of interest in our example 10%. In the period of annuity, 4 years was annuity scheme. I rate of interest. Now, if you calculate this, you should get the same number. So this is the formula to calculate future value of annuity. But I'll show the calculation on Excel. 1 plus I to the power of n. So 1 plus I to the power of n, which is 1.1 to the power of 4. Period is 4 years. But I am calculating easily on Excel. What you need is you should know how to calculate this on calculator. And in a standard calculator, you don't have power function. So you should calculate 1.1 into 1.1 into 1.1 into 1.1. This is how we calculate. Now, 4 years is not a difficulty, but let's say it is a longer period. Then you should know how to calculate this using different mathematical techniques. Watch one of our videos on mathematics for finance, where we have discussed how you can calculate, make these calculations using logarithm and anti-logarithm. Now, as per formula, from 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. So from this number, minus 1. Then, whatever you get, multiply with P, the periodic payment. So here the periodic payment is 10,000. So into 10,000. This you divide by I, rate of interest. So rate of interest was 10%, divide. So if you do this, if you go for this scheme, by the end of the term, how much will you get back? 46,410. So this is future value of annuity or terminal value of annuity. But what you must observe here is the formula what I calculated, what I used will help us to find future value when cash flows are happening at end of each year. End of. That's the reason I emphasized the term end. So if you deposit at the end of first year, by fourth year, it becomes so much. So this future value of annuity, what formula we have seen now, is what we can use when the cash flows are happening at the end of the period. But why should cash flows happen end of the period? Let's say the same is happening at beginning of the period. Let's say it is happening at beginning of each period. Now, how do we identify beginning? And this is how we write. Now, year end 0 means what? Today. Year end 1, year end 2, but year end 0. So, what does it mean? Cash flows are happening at beginning of each period. So, this is first year beginning. Year end 0 means today. Year end 1. Now, this is what to deposit. Up to which year? 4 years, because annuity scheme is 4 years. So, this is year end 3, but the annuity is for 4 years. You are depositing the beginning of each year. First year beginning, second year beginning, third year beginning, fourth year beginning. Annuity 4 years means it will mature at the end of fourth year. Now, how much will you get? Now, 10,000 is what to deposit today till end of fourth year. So, how much it becomes in 4 years? So, as we did earlier, 10,000 into 1.1 to the power of 4. 10,000 into 1.1 to the power of 3. 10,000 into 1.1 to the power of 2. 10,000 into 1.1 to the power of 1. You deposit at the end of third year, that is beginning of fourth year. When it's annuity, recurring depositors for 4 years, after 4 years it will mature. So the investment period is for 4 years, and this is what happens. So if you deposit at the end of each year, this is what you would have got. Now we are depositing at the beginning of each year. So at the end of 4 years, the annuity scheme, how much will be the value you get? 51,050. Is that right? Now, when I use this formula, I don't get that number, which means I can use this formula only when cash flows are happening at end of each period. But friends, if cash flows are happening at the beginning of each period, not at the end, anything is possible, beginning, then this is the formula to find future value of annuity. Same formula, the very same formula with one change, we'll say into 1 plus I. Same formula to calculate future value of annuity when cash flows are happening at the end, but into 1 plus I. In this case, I use 10%, so which is as good as this amount, what I got, into 1.1. If I do that enough, I get this. But what is important is to know the formula. So this is the formula to calculate future value of annuity when cash flows are happening at end of each year. Where cash flows are happening, inflow, outflow, whatever, are happening at beginning of each year, use the base formula into 1 plus. But again, why should these cash flows happen only yearly? It could be half yearly, monthly, quarterly, which is what we call continuous compounding. So what we discussed now, what we demonstrated now was only annual compounding. So if it is continuous compounding, what to do? Friends, if it is continuous compounding, hope you remember the basic formula what we had. And it is continuous compounding. Wherever you have I in the original formula, we divide by F. Wherever you have N, we multiply with F. Exactly same way. When it comes to finding future value of annuity, wherever we have I divide by F, wherever we have N, multiply with F. Same formula. Can you see? Same formula. P into 1 plus I by F, N into F, I by F. Where P is periodic payment, I is rate of interest, F is number of times compounding happens in a year or cash flows happens in a year. So if it is monthly, F will be 12. Same RD, but it's not yearly deposit, monthly deposit. F will be 12. And always the rate of interest quoted will be yearly, annual, per annum, but F. Let's say it is half yearly, F will be 2. N, let's say 4 years, but it is monthly. So 4 into 12, 48, power of 48. And in usual normal calculator, you can't calculate. You obviously need the logarithm and anti-logarithm knowledge to make that calculation. Now, where cash flows are not happening end of there, but beginning of the period, this is the formula. And instead of year, if it is beginning of each period, each month, each quarter, then same formula, but wherever you have I, we divide by F, wherever you have N, we multiply with. This is the formula to find future value of annuity. How to find? At the end of the annuity term, what is the value? What is its worth? Now, so we know what is annuity. Same amount received or paid in regular intervals for a given period of time. Now, how to find for an annuity future value we have seen. Let's now see for an annuity how to find present value. Present value of annuity. Right. How to find? Let's take an example. Let's say year. Again, whenever I say year, we know it is year end. So I won't mention, but keep in mind year. Let's say year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is year end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say this is the cash flows you will have. Cash flows. Let's say 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Remember, annuity means same amount. So each year end, let us say you have to receive 1 lakh. You'll be receiving 1 lakh from some investment scheme, something. How much it is in today's value? 1 lakh for 5 years is 5 lakh. But in today's value, is it 5 lakh? No. Again, let's assume rate of interest is 10%. Rate of interest is 10%. Now, how to find? Already we had seen, we discussed earlier. If you have series of cash flow, in this case, it's a series. Only that it is same every year, annuity, but still it is cash flow happening over a period of time. Now, what's the simplest way to calculate? Don't calculate present value for this directly. Take present value of 1 rupee at the rate of 10%. Just calculate present value for 1 rupee at the end of each period. How to calculate? We have discussed. So, for the first year, 1 divided by 1 plus I, 1.10%. So, 1 plus I, 1.1. Next year, this number you divide by 1.1. Keep dividing by 1.1, you get present value. While using calculator, please take one precaution. When you calculate 1 by 1.1, you get a big number. While writing, you can write only 3 or 4 digits. You can just mention 0.909. But in the calculator, retain everything, and this you divide by 1.1. This you divide by 1.1. But while writing, you can write only the first 3 digits or 4 digits. But while calculating, you don't take only this and do the calculation. Whatever you have got in the calculator, just keep dividing that. So as I mentioned, just keep pressing equal to. Now, this is present value of 1 rupee received at the end of year 1, year 2. So I can now calculate present value of cash flows. So this into this. Calculate. And if we add it, friends, how much is the present value of 1 lakh received each year for 5 years? It's an annuity. So you may get 5 lakh, but in today's value, it is so much. Now, this is the direct way to calculate, simplest, and you can consider doing this. But there are 2 other ways to do, which is simpler and which is usually what we go for. You know, a simple mathematical principle. What's happening here? We're multiplying each year 1 lakh with this number. Since this is common, what's the simplest thing we can do? This is a simple mathematical function that you know. So instead of multiplying every time 1 lakh with this number, 1 lakh with this number, it is as good as multiplying 1 lakh with this. 1 lakh with this. Correct? So, what is the direct method to do? To find present value of annuity, take P. What is P? Periodic payment. In this case, it was 1 lakh into present value of annuity of 1 rupee at the rate of I% for n years. So in this case, P 1 lakh, present value of annuity of 1 rupee. So 1 rupee each year annuity, its present value at I%, in this case 10% for 5 years. I get this number, and this number 3.791 in this is called present value of annuity of rupee 1 at the rate of 10% for 5 years. This is how we represent it. This is how it is called, expressed. So 3.791 something, you get, that is the number. Now, how to calculate this? Two ways. One, first calculate present value of 1 rupee at whatever the rate for given period, add, you get this number. How we call it, how we express it, you know. Alternatively, you have what is called annuity tables. Please check our website. I have uploaded, and any book on finance will give you what is called present value tables, annuity tables. So in the annuity tables, you can spot this as well. So 10% 5 years, what is the annuity for 1 rupee? Present value of annuity of 1 rupee, 10% 5 years. You can get this number. Use it. Now this is another way. So this is how we find present value of annuity directly. This is another form to do. But again, under time value of money, our requirement is to learn how to find all these using a model, using a formula. And this is what we do. This is the formula to find present value of annuity. Present value of annuity, which is P, periodic payment, into 1 minus 1 by 1 plus I, rate of interest. So in our case, periodic payment was 10,000, I mean 1 lakh, 10%, 5 years, 10%. So if I calculate this on Excel, 1 plus I, first I'll calculate this, 1.1 to the power of 5. 1.1 to the power of 5. But as I mentioned, since I'm showing on Excel, I'm able to instantly calculate, but in calculator you should do 1.1 into 1.1 into 1.1. Of course, you can just keep pressing equal to, that's it. So you can do that, you get this number. Now, 1 divided by this number, so 1 divided by this number, you get something. Then whatever you get, 1 minus this number, so 1 minus this you multiply with P, periodic payment. In our example, it is 1 lakh. And this you divide by rate of interest 10%. You get this number, which is what we have got. So this is another form, another formula we can use. So you can calculate present value of annuity, one with direct calculation, how we find present value for a series of cash flow, same way you calculate. Two, calculate using present value of annuity of 1 rupee at 10% for 5 years, and calculate can calculate this or find this in annuity table or use the formula. But once again, in this case, when are the cash flows happening? End of each year. There's a default always. But let us assume these cash flows are happening at the beginning of each year. So just mention year beginning. Normally that is not how we mention. We say year end and say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So year end. Year means the same. So year end means today we get 1 lakh. End of first year we get 1 lakh, second year 1 lakh, etc. Now what is the direct way to calculate? As usual, take present value of rupee 1 at the rate of 10%. Calculate that. How? When 0 period means today. 1 rupee today is how much? 1 rupee. So 1 rupee today is 1 rupee. So 1 rupee today is 1 rupee. If you get 1 rupee at the end of first year, how much is the value today? 1 divided by 1.1 and then keep dividing by 1.1. So same present value, but first period, be careful. This is today, 0 period. While a 1 rupee today is 1 rupee. While a 1 rupee at the end of first year, as usual, make the calculation. So if you multiply then, present value of cash flows. So this is what you get. Is the total. So instead of cash flows happening at beginning of end of each year, if it happens at beginning of each year end 0 means today, beginning. So instead of end period cash flows, if it is beginning period, this will be the present. But how to calculate it using the formula, same as what we discussed in case of future value. And this is the formula we can use to find present value of annuity when cash flows are happening at end of the period. In all cases, this is the standard normal. The base formula what we have is what we can use to find future value or present value when cash flows are happening at the end of the period and it is happening annually. I repeat, in all cases, the base formula what we have is applicable when cash flows are happening at end of the period and it is happening annually. Then we can use this. But where cash flows are happening at beginning of the period, so how to find present value of annuity? Same formula, whatever you had, same. Just take that into 1 place. So, for example, this is the present value of annuity when cash flows are happening at the end of each year. Now, if it is happening beginning, the same formula into 1 plus I, 1.1. That's it. We get this number. So this is change. Once again, in the example, the cash flows are happening annually, yearly. But if it is not yearly, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, again, same as what we discussed. So whenever the cash flows are happening more than once in a year, simple. Wherever you find I in the formula, divide by F. Wherever you have N into F. Wherever. So it should be end period or beginning period. If it is annual, we use this formula. It is more than once a year. The cash flows are not happening annually, but periodically, which is more than once a year. Then take the same formula what you have, but wherever you find I by F, wherever you have N into F. Now this is how we find present value of annuity. Be aware of the formula, but usually in application, annual cash flows is what we find, but it will be end period, beginning period, which you should very carefully observe and identify which formula to use. More than once a year, chances are very less, but even if it's so, what formula to use we know, but where you should be careful is in calculating that our calculator may not be all the time helpful, so you must have knowledge of how to simplify the calculation using logarithm and anti-logarithm concept. Now, this is present value of annuity. So annuity, same amount is either paid, regular intervals for a given period of time. How to find future value of annuity? We have seen present value of annuity. In both the cases, the formula, the base formula what we have is applicable when cash flows are happening annually and end of the period. So the cash flows are happening end, the deposit, whatever is happening at the end of the period. And if it is annual cash flows, it is beginning of the year, the base formula what you have into 1 plus I. It is not happening annually, but more frequently, then what are the base formula you have? Wherever you have I, divide by F, wherever you have N, multiply with F. Now, this will give us how to find future value of annuity, present value of annuity. But when you talk about annuity, there's one more small concept we should know called growing annuity, and this application we see even more often. Each of this calculation is something you must be familiar to have a strong foundation for working problems in finance, particularly strategic financial management. Now, what was annuity we know? What is growing annuity? When there is receipt or payment, that is cash inflows or cash outflows, of amount which is growing at same rate in periodic intervals for a given period of time. So when there is cash inflow or outflow happening periodically for a given period, in annuity, it was same amount which was received or paid in regular interval for a given period, but where the amount what we receive or pay is not same, but growing at same rate, we call it as growing annuity. For example, let's say year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say the first year cash flows is 10,000 or 1 lakh. Now, every year if we get same 1 lakh, it is annuity. But let us assume it is growing at 10% every year, meaning whatever the cash flows happen, every year it will be 10% more. What do you mean by 10% more? So 1 rupee this year will be 1 rupee 10 paisa next year, correct? 1 rupee, next period it will be 10% more, 1.1. So how do I get the cash flows for the remaining period? So 1 lakh is the cash flow for first year. Second year it will be 10% more, 10% growth rate. So I can take 1 lakh plus 10%, 10,000, 1 lakh 10,000, or simply 1 lakh into 1.1. Why? 1 rupee here will be 1 rupee 10 paise, correct? So 1 into 1.1. So if 10% is a growth rate into 1.1, if 12% is a growth rate into 1.12, if 15% is a growth rate into 1.15. So next year, this into 1.15, I'm sorry, 1.1. Next period, this into 1.1. So what's happening? Our cash flows are growing every year at 10%. Same rate. Rate is same. That's why it is called growing annuity. So calculator, you can do this. So this is the cash flow for first year. Every year it is growing by 10%. Now this is what we call growing annuity. So firstly, periodically we are having cash flows for a given period. Only difference, if cash flows is same every year, it is annuity. Is growing at same rate, it is growing annuity. Now how to find present value of this? So let's assume rate of interest or rate of discount, one and the same. Depending on the context, we call it as discount rate or interest rate, but what we use is one and the same. So rate of discount or rate of interest, call it by any name. Let's say is 15%. So what we do? We take present value of rupee 1 at the rate of 15%. Present value of 1 rupee at the rate of 15%. How to calculate? As you know, first year 1 divided by 1.15. Next year, divide whatever you get by 1.15. Keep dividing, you get. But while writing, you can just write up to 3 digits or 4 digits, whatever the practice. Depending on what you take, you may have some small variations. Those variations are irrelevant, doesn't matter. Have a standard practice, 3 or 4 digits, calculate. So present value of cash flows. Now, when you do this, what I get is present value of growing annuity showing on Excel. So where all the calculations will become simple for us. Okay. But as I've been telling you, if this is what we have to do, this is how we have to calculate. What's the use of learning time value of money? Calculate, need be no hard and fast rule, you can calculate. But what we must know is the model or the formula to calculate this, or the model or formula to find present value of growing annuity. So we know what is growing annuity, how to find present value. Then this is the case. P1, all earlier case we took P, which meant periodic payment. And don't forget, in annuity, periodic payment is same. But growing annuity, every year it will be different. So I can't take P, take P1. Cash flow at the end of year 1. Payment at the period end of period 1. End again as usual. End, that's always we take. Into 1 minus 1 plus G is growth rate. N is the period for which you have cash flows. I rate of interest, I minus G. Now, if I have to calculate this to get the idea, first I calculate 1 plus G to the power of N, growth rate. Now, growth rate here is 10%, period is 5 years. So 1.1 to the power of 5. Now, on Excel, it is simple. For basic understanding, I'm showing this, but you must practice it using your calculator or logarithm and anti-logarithm. The numbers are. Next, 1 plus I to the power of N is 1.15. 15% is the discount rate. 1.1 to the power of 5. Now, as per formula, we should divide this by this. So, divide this by this. Then 1 minus this number. 1 minus this number. Multiply this with P1 or divide whatever. So P1, first year payment, first year end, 1 lakh. Now this we divide by I minus G. I is 15%, G is 10%. So 0.15 minus 0.10. You get this number, which is 398,583. So this is the formula to find present value of growing annuity, and each of these is a requirement. This formula you must know. So the beginning of time value of money I mentioned 90% of formula what we use in the subject is from time value of money. It is these what we reproduce. Only in place of P I may write some other term. I may say cash flow, free cash flow, something else, but this is what we write. This is what we should make it. So if you know this well, later part, why the formula you won't have any confusion, and just apply and make the calculation. Focus on making decision rather than the working part. This is annuity. So we discussed about one special case annuity, where we learned how to find future value of annuity, present value of annuity. And along with annuity, we discussed growing annuity, and we have learned how to find present value of growing annuity. That is a requirement. Future value may not have a requirement. Not to. Now let's go to another case, last case, perpetuity. Perpetuity. This is another special case that we have, and please observe. Now, what is perpetuity? Friends, same amount received or paid, same amount of inflow outflow in regular intervals. This was how we defined even annuity. Same amount received or paid in regular interval, but in annuity we said for a given period of time. But friends, it is forever. Forever, it is called perpetuity. So, what is perpetuity? Perpetually, continuously, without an end. In your cash flows periodically. The same amount received or paid, regular intervals forever. So, on retirement, employee gets pension every month. Till when? You can't have a deadline till his death. Quite often, even after death, spouse will be receiving till his or her death. Let's say you have with you 12% irredeemable debentures of a company. What are irredeemable debentures? Debentures which is not redeemed within the lifetime of the company. What is the lifetime of the company? Perpetuity. It's a perpetual existence. So if you have these, forever you keep receiving interest, forever. Even after the death of the debenture holder, will be transmission. So the cash flow on this will be forever. Maybe there may be an end, but we don't know when. Now, this is perpetuity. Same amount received or paid in regular intervals for a given period. But my interest is similar to general case and annuity. For a perpetuity, how to find future value present. This is what we should learn in time value of money. But perpetuity means no end, forever. How can I find future value? For which year can we find future value? In our example of annuity, the recurring deposit was of 5 years. So then the 5th year, we can find what is the value. But here, since this never ends, you can't find future. You can't. So comes to perpetuity. Future value is not of any requirement because it can't be calculated. You can't. So what we should learn then? We should learn how to find present value of perpetuity. The perpetuity, how to find present value. How? Let's see. Firstly, keep in mind, perpetuity means forever. But for simplicity, I'll just show for some period. Let's say year 1, 2, 3. Let's say I take for let's say I take for 100 years. Let's say for 100 years. Let's say each year cash flow 1000. Cash flow 1000. Each year cash flow 1000. This is perpetuity. I've just shown for 100. It could be for any period. Now, I can't find future value because no end. How to find present value? As usual, take present value 1 rupee at the rate of 10%. So 1 divided by 1.1. Keep dividing by 1.1 to get a number. So if you multiply, you get present value of cash flows. Present value of cash flows. And if I take the total sum of this, how much am I getting? 9999.27. But perpetuity means not just 100 years. So let's say I make it so let's say make it for 1000 years. Now, same calculation. Let's see how much it gives us. So, again, this formula sum of now how much am I getting? 10,000. Now keep doing. So earlier I got when I took for 100 years 9999.74. When I took for this, I'm getting so much. So keep doing. You get amount, but as you keep doing, take for 10,000 years, 1 lakh years, what you get is close to approximately something equal to 10,000. So the present value, if you calculate, and since it's Excel sheet, I'm able to calculate instantly. But imagine doing it manually forever. But this is the answer. This is how we get present value of perpetuity. But as I've been mentioning, if this is how we have to calculate, there's no need for learning anything about time value. What we need is models, formulae to calculate this. How to calculate this? This is what we do. This is how we find present value of perpetuity. Simplest example, very simple. What is it? Friends, P by I. P, periodic payment. In our example, how much is the periodic payment? 1000. I, 10% interest rate. So interest rate was taken as 10%. So 1000 divided by 10%. Friends, this is the formula to find for a perpetuity how to find present value. This gives us approximately what will be the present value because it's never ending. Perpetuity means never ending, but approximately. So you can calculate. Those who know how to do use Excel sheet, keep calculating for 100 years, 1000, 10,000. You'll get 10,000 or close to 10,000. If you take for a longer period, it will be 10,000. So This is the simplest formula to calculate P by I. That's it. Very simple. So perpetuity, we know the meaning. You can't find future value. How to find present value? P by I. But this perpetuity has a very big role to play in our future discussion, and this has a lot of variations. What is that variation? Now let us say the cash flows, perpetual cash flows, is happening not from first year end. Let's say today you make some investment. First year end you don't get anything, nothing. But second year onwards you get 1,000. Second year onwards you get 1,000. How much is the present value? Whatever, mind you. Now, if I use this formula, P by I, 1,000 by 0.1, 10%, I get 10,000. But can you see, when I actually calculated, what's the number I'm getting? Since I'd already given the command sum. Why? Because when the cash flows are happening from second year onwards, the formula what I apply will give us present value at the beginning of second year. Beginning. So earlier it was happening from first year onwards. So I applied the formula. Beginning of first year means today. How much is the value today? 0 period we got. But here it's happening from second year onwards. So the present value what you get is beginning of second year. Beginning of second year is nothing but end of first year. So this 10,000 what I get applying this formula is the present value not today 0 period, but beginning of second year or end of first year. Now, end of 1 year, if you get 1 rupee, how much is the value today? So end of 1 year, if the value is 10,000, how much is today's value? 10,000 into this. So how did I calculate now? The cash flows are happening from second year onwards. Now first calculate present value using this formula. But whatever you get is not present 0 period value. It is value at the beginning of second year, which is end of first year. So what should we do? Further discount it for 1 year, and this is the formula we use. P by I apply. But since it is happening from second year onwards, further discount. How to find present value? We know the formula. This is the formula to find present value of 1 rupee. So 1 by 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. So if it is second year onwards, 2 minus 1, 1. So 1 by 1 plus 10%, 1.1 to the power of 1. Do it, you get this. Now let us say, so it was, if it's happening from first year onwards, using this formula is enough for me. But if it's happening from a later period, first apply the formula, but further discount it. Now let us say, friends, it is happening from fourth year, fifth year onwards. You invest today, first, second, third, fourth year, you don't get anything. But from fifth year onwards, you get 1,000 every year forever, perpetuity. Now, how to find present value of perpetuity? P by I. So 1,000 by 10%, 10,000. But since the cash flows are happening from fifth year onwards, from the end of fifth year, the present value what you get is beginning of fifth year. Beginning of fifth year is as good as end of fourth year. Now, end of fourth year, if you get 1 rupee, how much is the value today? So if 10,000 is the present value at the beginning of fifth year, end of fourth year, what is value today? So 10,000 into this. 10,000 into this. But what is the formula then? P by I, 1,000 by 10% into 1 by 1.1 to the power of, since it is happening from fifth year onwards, n minus 1, 5 minus 1, 4. So you can apply the formula or make your direct calculation. Now this is what you should know about perpetuity, present value of perpetuity. So formula is simple, but what you should know is how to calculate present value of perpetuity when cash flows are happening from first year onwards. which is simple formula. But when it's happening not from first year but a later period, whatever the present value calculate using this formula is the present value at the beginning of that period, the period from which cash flows begin. So should further discount it to today. That is what you should know. So that is this formula. Finally, how we had growing annuity, we can even have growing perpetuity. Growing perpetuity. What was growing annuity? The cash flows, inflows or outflows, is happening periodically for a given period of time, but the amount what you receive or pay is growing at same rate. Now, exactly same. And what is the difference between annuity perpetuity? There it is for a given period, here it is for ever. So let's say year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say we take it for just showing 100, but it can be any period. So 100 years, but perpetuity means not 100 years, it can be any period. Cash flows, let's say first year 1000, but let's say every year it is growing by 5%, growth rate 5%. So second year 1000 plus 5%, 50,050. Instead, 1 rupee today, 5% growth means how much? 1.05, correct? So keep multiplying with 1.05. So this into 1.05, this into 1.05. Keep doing it forever. So get for 100 years. Now let's say discount rate or interest rate is 10%. So what we do? Calculate. Present value of 1 rupee at 10%. So 1 by 1.1. Keep calculating. Multiply, add, now how much are you getting? 19,809.1. So 5% growth, 10% discount. Now instead, let's say make it for 1000 years or 500 years, whatever. Let's say 600 years, 580, whatever the period. So let's say I calculated for 600 years. And now let's say I take the sum. Sum of how much am I getting? 20,000. Now keep doing. So earlier it got 19,809 point something. Now 20,000. Keep doing it. You get some amount. Now this is, if it's a growing perpetuity or different present value, usual manner. But we don't need this, we need a model. What's a model? It's a very simple model. If it's a growing annuity, this is what we do. P1 by I minus G, same as in case of growing annuity. P1, end of first period, what is the cash flow? I minus G. Now, in this, what is the payment cash flow at the end of first year? 1000 by 10% was the rate of interest, 5% was growth rate. How much? 20%. So instead of making all these calculations on Excel, it was instant, but manually impossible. But nothing to worry, just use this. But once again, I can use this formula only when cash flows are happening from first year onwards. Let's say cash flows are not happening from first year, but happening from, let's say, fifth year onwards. The first, second, third, fourth year, no. Fifth year it happens. So what I do, I take 1000, which is cash flow for fifth year, divided by 10% by 0.0. I get 20,000. But this 20,000, what I get using this formula is cash flow, present value at the beginning of fifth year. Since cash flows are happening from fifth year onwards, fifth year end, the present value what you get is beginning of fifth year. Beginning of fifth year means end of fourth year. So what should I do? This you multiply with fourth year present value. So end of fourth year, if you get 1 rupee, this is the value today. Present value 1 rupee at the end of fourth year. Now let's say this is happening. The cash flows are happening, let's say, from third year onwards. First year, second year, no cash flow. From third year, it happens. Now, since it is growing perpetuity, this is the value what you get. But growing perpetuity, how to find present value? P1 by I minus G. But here, cash flows are not happening from first year, third year. So as good as P3. So what I do? Take this P3, divide by I 10%, growth rate 5%, you get 20,000. But this 20,000 what you get is present value at the beginning of third year, which is end of second year. Now, end of second year, if you get 1 rupee, what is the value today? So much. So how much? This into this is a number. But as a formula, how to write it? Same formula, use it. It's a P1 at Pn. So it is fifth year, P5 by I minus G. But if it is P5, the present value what you get is beginning of fifth year or end of fourth year. So what I do, discount it with present value of 1 rupee at the end of fourth year. So 1 divided by 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. It is fifth year, 5 minus 1, fourth year. So this is a formula to find present value of 1 rupee at the end of fourth year. So use it to get this value. So this is another thing you should know how to find. And this is what you would be needing to learn under time value of money. So in general, how to find future value, annual compounding, continuous compounding. In case of continuous compounding, how to find effective rate of interest. In general, how to find present value, discounting for single cash flow, series of cash flow. Annuity was the meaning, how to find future value. Generally, the base formula, which is applicable when cash flows are happening annually at the end of the period. It's happening at the beginning of the period, what is the formula? And not once a year, but more than once a year, what is the formula? That is what you should know regarding future value of annuity. Similarly, present value of annuity, how to calculate in general, was a formula. The base formula is applicable only when cash flows are happening end of the period and annually. Is beginning of the period cash flow, what is the formula? The variation into 1 plus I. And if it's more than once a year, how to calculate, you have seen. Then we saw growing annuity, how to find present value of growing annuity, the formula. Then perpetuity, you know the meaning. You can't find future value, how to find present. But finding present value of perpetuity, the base formula is applicable when cash flows are happening from first year onwards. It's happening from a later period. Apply the base formula and further discount it. Similarly, growing perpetuity, this is a formula when the cash flows are growing at same rate forever. But this formula is applicable only when cash flows are happening from first year. If it's from a later period, apply this formula, calculate, but further discount it. Now, this is what one must know about time value of money without fail. And please keep in mind, the more you practice, the more you're comfortable using calculator and all other calculations, simplified working, you can say you're equipped to learn finance. Practice it, be perfect, have clarity. You will see most of the formulae what we use later are these only. Working will become easy as I mentioned, your focus can be about making decision, getting a solution rather than the working. Enjoy your learning. Please visit our website drvrk.in to know the details of the courses we offer. We have courses, online courses for strategic financial management. You can enroll there. But watch the videos again and again. You keep a book, calculator, and practice. Trust me, friends, finance is a cakewalk. It will become your cup of tea if particularly these calculations are done. All the best. Have a great learning. Enjoy your day.